Welcome to Danu on Fire, right here on hi.lk, your luxury channel. And today we're checking out Breeze Bar here at Cinnamon Grand Colombo. And with me I have someone who is the legendary. Yeah, he has worked, dressed, walked many fashion arenas. I'm happy to have the one and only Wijesuriya. Hello.
Hi, Danu.
Thank you for being on the show. The last time I spoke to you, you had come out of a near-death experience.
Yeah.
After that again, apparently you have died.
Well, I had another attack
How are you?
and had stents after that.
Okay.
So now I think I'm on the right track.
So this heart condition has been in your family for a long time?
Yeah. My dad had bypass 34 years ago. Unfortunately, he's not with us anymore. But my nephew was born with a heart condition. My niece was born with a heart condition. Niece is on a pacemaker. She's 10 years after it. Nephew has had multiple surgeries, but he's 30 years old and perfect. So all good.
That's amazing.
At least we know we have a heart.
Although it's damaged, it's a good heart.
Good heart.
But I must ask you, you have really touched the doors of heaven and come back. But this never slowed you down. You were into racing, you were into all sorts of things. You kept yourself busy. Were you ever scared when you were pushed to that moment?
Not really. It was tough when it actually happened, not knowing what the next day would bring and all. But I think faith, courage, and really I have a very close walk with my Maker. So when it's time for me to go, till then, I think He'll give me a good life, value to life, and everything. So I just keep doing what I have to do. Especially now the motor racing is like a fast-paced thing for me, but I still.
That's faster than the pacemaker. But I wanted to ask you, in this life where everything is so fragile and we live like it's just not going to pull through to another day, people still find ways of crippling the system and like finding ways to like break another person down. What has this taught you?
Actually, industry has taught me a lot. Now it's 32 years in the industry and self-made. I mean, I never went for formal training, nothing. I was a hotelier prior to that. And that has taught me a lot as to realize that there is room for everybody in this life we lead. And people are craving to down another so that they come
can
to
bounce up.
But there's room for everybody. There's room for another person. Now I'm 60 years in a few months, and I feel that it's now my moment to let go and let another generation
take control.
Yeah, because there's a point in my career that I was at the peak. I mean, and you can't always hold on to that. You have to give way to the younger generation.
And new people will come and new things will evolve. But funnily, I wanted to ask you, so you were never taught as a fashion designer, you never learned how to stitch, but you can do all of those.
Can do.
You never learned makeup, but you can do makeup. Now, when you stitch, I've been told, you'll just look, before you know it, it's done.
Yeah.
How do you know when you see someone, okay, this will fit this person?
Well, it's like this, like when somebody comes to you, we don't go straight ahead and design things and all. It's one or two meetings where you get to know the personality and you try to gel with them, so that their inner feelings and all that. Even when a bride comes to me, I always tell them, I said, it's not the mother who needs to talk, let the bride herself, bring out what she likes and her emotions and all that, and that's what great things to do.
Mostly it's the mother who talks.
Our culture,
Yes. Everyone else talks except the party involved. Yeah. The reason why I spoke to you about these near-death experience was the fact that you have had so many.
Yep.
And this might have taught the reality of how fragile life can be. In this whole process of fashion, racing, all of this, what's one of the most closest memory that you'll have to what life is? What you value the most?
I think the closest memory is to what the work my family has had with me. It's amazing that through stages of life, you cling on to different people, from your early childhood, your friends are the most important people, and you go against your parents and do things against them because you feel that your friends are, everything to you. But through all the stages, it was mother and father who stood by me and, guided me. And even when I was wrong, they never pointed out just being wrong, but said, you live through that moment and you will realize in a short period that ultimately things do change. And so till I think 10 years ago when I lost mom, 12 years ago, and then dad just a year ago, they stood by us, and as parents, we were more like friends actually. We talked about things, laughed about things, and we have had a beautiful family life. Sister, brother, brother-in-law, nephews, nieces, all that. So I think that has, to where I am today, that has contributed in a big way,
Amazing. All right, we're going to get into a break because when we do come back, we're going to speak about the industry and how it was to be in the peak of it all. When we do come back on the other side, do stick around. This is Danu on Fire. We're checking out Breeze Bar at Cinnamon Grand Colombo, and I'm with Wijesuriya. Now, this whole bridal industry didn't take off yesterday today. It has been at this peak for a long time, and these are people who sort of kept that benchmark alive. I was just speaking to him about how many brides he'll do for a day, and maximum he has gone up to 7. And that's because it's not that you want to take it, it's just that they don't give you a choice.
Yeah. But also, as I said, timing factor is very important.
Yeah.
And I make it possible because I dress all at one location, so that they are sure that you are there, and
Yeah, they are not panicking.
And the bride is done personally by me, so I give them that time where assistant will blow dry and prepare them, and then I do the main work. So.
And this is like I'm talking about when you have the retinue and the whole work comes under you. And it's a lot of energy.
Yeah.
And always like the nights and all unpredictable.
Because sometimes if it's a morning wedding, we start like 1, 2 in the morning. Be ready by 6, 6:30. And I'm very particular about auspicious times because I really don't believe in any of that. But
for them, it means a lot.
It means a lot.
And
so to be there, say if you want to begin by 2 a.m., you should be there by 1:30, prepared, by start work at 2 a.m., not to stress anybody out. And then auspicious times and all are very important to me because I know how important it is to people, especially poor women.
Tell me any, I'm sure you would have been in the thick of a lot of problems at weddings. Have you ever had moments where the bride or the groom has not ended up coming for the wedding?
One instance where we went through the ceremony, the porua, and there's a bit of a tiff there, and the bridegroom walked out.
Oh, at the porua?
After the porua.
Oh.
And refused to come into the reception.
But they were married though?
Yeah.
Okay.
So he said that's fine. They'd flown down for the wedding. So myself and the coordinator had to sit with them and explain to them, at least go ahead now. Because anyhow it was divorce if they needed to. So, but it ended up all.
They patched things up. You have even done counseling.
They're together still.
That's amazing. But I'm sure you all go through such moments where people are getting too stressed, too involved.
It's amazing the counseling we do because it's not that I've been trained to be a counselor, but we've been through so many marriages, so many instances where we have seen certain things happen, but trying to calm couples down and all that.
Tell them calm down.
So even for fittings now, I'll tell them don't bring the bridegroom along because he'll come in, he wants to leave in 15-20 minutes, but leave all that out. And
because everyone's energy or their emotions are at a very trigger levels, no?
Especially on the day of the wedding.
Yes. So you can piss anyone off really quickly.
Big time.
Now let's go back to your time in hospitality or hotel management. So you were in what area of hotel management?
I was originally here at Ceylon Hotel School. Then I got a scholarship and went off, and then branched off into a few different. And I wanted to be in F&B, but I don't drink, so a bit of a toughie being in beverage department. So I was in Salt Lake City, Utah at the time, and I went into conventions, which was really good, and like banquets and all that. So it was good.
But you never felt you were home here.
Home was there.
Okay.
For the simple reason that, I've been self-taught,
Yeah.
self-made. I left home when I was 19 plus. And everything to me was, I grew up in the
Just
dark.
maneuvered your way through.
And found things. And when I came back here, and to come back into that whole thing of, still at home, be home by 8:30, and all that was really tough for me.
But who sort of brought you into this beauty industry? What was that first thing that sort of guided your way through?
I'm an artist. And actually I'm having my first exhibition in December.
Oh wow, that's amazing.
That is where I came in, and my guru, Ramzi Rahman, just I should go to him for my haircuts and all that, and then just chatting and all that, and he knew I had a flair for this type of thing. And
Right.
I used to go with him when on vacation to assist him at weddings and all, and that's what, And actually the lady who dressed my mom and my sister, Mrs. Ronan Fernando, who is no more, she's the one who said, give up your hotel career and get into this because you're,
You definitely have it in you. So how was it when you did your first wedding? Were you stressed? Because somebody needs to believe in you and come to you.
Not really, but I was hoping that he wouldn't get off the ground so that I could go back. Because my parents were very keen that I stayed back here. And but fortunately or unfortunately, I got into it. The first wedding came in 3 months in the industry.
Wow.
So that was a big one. And that was in Kotmale. So we were related. So she had faith, to give it to me.
She's
so,
seen your work.
Yeah. And it was a typical burger wedding with the hats and the gloves and all that. So it was,
It was up your alley fully.
So that was the first. And then that led to the second and the third, and
Went on.
But of course I had, one thing was that I thought, okay, once I get into it, I get timelines in my life that by this time I should be doing this, by this time, I need to achieve such things, otherwise there's no point in being in the industry. And picked up.
And you have discovered and created so many people who have ended up being in the industry for a long time. Yeah, that's amazing. All right, let's get into a break. We'll see you on the other side with more. Our final segment, a segment that I think will be very close to him as well. Something that I've noticed in him, his element of faith. And we're going to be talking about that when we do come back into this segment. Welcome back to the show, our final segment, and we're checking out this amazing place at Cinnamon Grand. You have to come, check out the vibe, you can maybe take a dip in the pool. That's what we're hoping to do after this. It's so warm. But anyway, that's what life is. We're speaking to Michael Wijesuriya, and I wanted to speak about something that's very, very close to him, the element of faith that he has. It's a huge part of his life. And tell me, when did you find this space in your life?
Actually, with age also, everything in life keeps changing. And I think when I hit 50 and faced certain situations in life where we all eventually have to face, or that loss of family and this, all that, when you really realize at that point that there is much more to life than the material things that we have around us. And that's where it's like a faith build up at that point. That's where you really know that there's a God, and the events that have happened in my life have contributed a lot in a way for me to really believe that.
And building.
Yeah, that there is something more to life than just what we see around us. So.
Yeah. So when you were searching for this space in life, were you able to quickly adjust yourself to what this new way of life that you found?
Yeah, I really did, because I was in search of it myself, that I really wanted something more to life than what I already had. I mean, I had the material comforts and everything, but sometimes you feel that you lack something in life, and that is when I bonded with my beliefs and the faith I really wanted to have in my life. And it's been an amazing journey since. I mean, it's been really good.
That's amazing. Now, one of the reasons I also wanted to touch on this, we did speak about it during the break. There's a lot of, it's a very sensitive matter these days in terms of expressing faith, and also sometimes how it could be misinterpreted or interpreted the right or the wrong way. I know you're a follower of Pastor Jerome, and things that have happened in the last few months, how have you seen it as somebody who has been a strong pillar in this community?
To me, actually, it's my walk with God. And to me, Prophet has been the vessel that has, brought me closer. Like you have a tap there, you need water, you're thirsty, you need a vessel to drink out of or have that. So what he has brought into my life is something that I cannot measure. It has been something very personal, and I know how my life has changed. So unless you actually know and you actually come across the situation where how he has mentored you and been a part of your life and brought you where you are, it could be hard for people to realize and to value that. And to me, at the moment, there's no negativity that has come out through it. I mean, there are instances where, there are all sides to a story also. So, but it's my strong belief that keeps me going, and I believe in what I've learned through him and the mentorship that he's given me. And I know that my faith has been built up even further to know that, things will eventually,
Have people, spoken against this to you? Have they questioned your faithfulness?
There has been a lot, and my thing has been, my focus is on God and God alone. Not my man of God. As I said, he has been the person who journeyed with me, helped me, and like a parent.
Yeah.
So I call him my spiritual father because like my biological father, he helped me, brought me up, and took me on this journey. Whether I wanted to move this way or that way was my,
Correct.
So at this point, there's no way that I would even dream of moving away from what I've learned through him or the mentorship. And I will still stand by, his word and what he has taught me, because it was at that point in my life that the real meaning of God came, into me and got a hold of me. So values have changed, values are different now. And I thank him and God for placing a man of that value in my life. As I said, everybody has different views of everything, every religion. But to me, it's something very personal.
Now, before we wrap things up, I wanted to speak about this exhibition that you're doing. Now, how long have you been collecting these paintings that you've been working on?
Well, in the process of doing so,
Okay.
it's an art spa that we actually go to.
Okay.
So it's 10 professionals who have got together.
Oh, right,
And
okay.
So we've got doctors and lawyers and all that. And it's a time away from our real normal life
yeah.
to sit and paint. And so 10 hours are showcasing at the land event.
And how many pieces each?
Approximately
Limitless.
14 to 15 pieces each.
Okay.
And we're trying to do it in aid of a charity so that we can auction a few paintings and give them the money, and then
Right.
also a percentage of every sale to. So it's just something new for all of us. And
Right. Do you have a style that you can talk about?
to me, it's like all mood painting,
Okay.
depending on the mood I'm in.
Right.
So like the painting I did just after my father passed away happened to be, I didn't even realize, it was all orchids.
Okay.
So I was thinking to myself, I'm not a person who paints flowers generally, but I guess I saw so many of it at the funeral, and
and that sort of
that
resembled.
gave me sort of, I just, so, but it all depends on the mood.
Yeah. Well, do you believe that there is space for only talent, for that to grow into a business still in this country?
Yes, for sure.
There is.
Everything that is artistic now, like even the industry I am in, if you put your shoulder to the wheel and you market yourself properly, and especially with social media now, there's nothing you can't do. So I think you can, and there's value in, there are a lot of artists, and there are a lot of places that give and to new artists also to showcase and to sell, and it's not all just done just as a hobby, but there's resale value to all that you do and all that. So it's good.
But I think the time that you all celebrated the fashion industry or the arts, the amount it was appreciated, is now lacking a little bit.
A lot.
Yeah, and I think you all had the best time to celebrate the work you do and to showcase the work you do. That's remarkable. I'm sure for those who are watching, I'm sure either you or your parents or somebody might have been impressed by this guy. I know people who will still call him just so that he could just make their sari jacket. All the way from Canada, there was this one lady who was going. She didn't care about the others. She just wanted him to touch her outfit. That's it. So that kind of loyalty, that takes a lot, and that comes with a lot of work. Thank you so very much, Michael, for coming and being a part of the show. Do check out his space for more on the exhibition and how you can support. Well, until we see you with another cool episode to Danu and Fi. It's a wrap.